Hello and welcome to Life is Feudal. Today I want to show you how to get started as a carpenter. So first of all, in your character creation you will of course want to level Forestry to the max in the beginning, and then of course after that, when you're in the game, you want to level up Forestry to level 60 so that you can level up carpentry to as high as you want, because you always need at least level 60 in the previous skill to advance the next skill past level 29. So that's the first thing you'll want to do. You will then, in order to get yourself a claim, get experience and get money, yes, you will need to find a way of making money. And in the beginning there are a couple of ways to do that. I have a few videos on that. For instance, one, you can make fried fish. Another is pretty easy. You can make torches. So you look for materials on the ground, press O, and then you make torches. So I'll show you quickly how that works. You look on the ground, right click it, then select look for materials, and then you pick up all the necessary materials to make torches, and then you go to the market, which you can easily find by clicking M on the map and then clicking on this thing which looks like a trade icon, zooming in and finding the market with where there's two markets next to one another, and also usually there's a big square. Alright, that's two of the things that are pretty easy for mostly everybody. But as a carpenter there's a different thing you can also do, as long as you've already got level 30 in Forestry. You can cut down hardwood trees, so birch, elm and oak, and then you can saw out boards and sell those if you happen to find some hardwood trees around the market. Otherwise I would advise taking the other two methods discussed. So in order to get boards, you'll of course have to make yourself some tools. So what you'll need is an axe to chop down the trees, and you'll need a saw to saw out the boards. So look for materials, as I said. Then you will want to look for flintstone, plant fibers here, and also sticks, but you can also get branches, but you can also gather sticks or branches by clicking on trees, right clicking, and then saying snap off branch. After you've gathered your materials, same as for making torches, you will want to click the O button, crafting, and then select primitive saw, and of course make that. After you've made that, you can simply equip it by double clicking on the item or by right clicking and selecting equip. Alright, after that you can of course chop or cut down a tree, making sure that this marker here is set to this sign so that your character doesn't stop chopping after one hit or after one full go. Alright, after you've chopped down the tree, you want to right click it, saw out, and then select a board, of course with your saw equipped. Then you can harvest some boards, and then of course bring those to the market where you can sell them. This step is also important because after you've gotten yourself your first bit of money, you will require hardwood boards to continue. What do I mean by that? In my opinion, easiest way at the moment to make money in this game, or at least as a carpenter, is by making so-called little boards. Now, how do you make those little boards? What you'll need is a carpenter's toolkit, a carpenter's workshop, or a carpenter's workbench, and some hardwood boards in order to make those. So, what are you going to do as a person that starts out, because you don't have land yet and you don't have that much money to get all the materials you require for the workbench or the carpenter's workshop? What you'll want to be doing is buying a carpenter's toolkit. So the carpenter's toolkit shouldn't be too expensive, but I'll show you the current prices as soon as we get to the market. That's why the first bit of money you'll be making, you'll be wanting to invest into a carpenter's toolkit. And as soon as you've got that carpenter's toolkit, you'll want to, as I say, just make tons and tons and tons of little boards until you have the money that you want, for instance, to get yourself a claim and start building all the things that you want. While we're going to the market, what do you want to do afterwards? Well, after you've gotten yourself enough money to get yourself a claim and get yourself set up, what you want to do is make yourself a carpenter's workbench, since that will probably be higher quality than your carpenter's toolkit. Or if you have the right levels in building, you will want to make yourself a carpenter's workshop, since that will give you a 20% bonus to the crafting quality of things you make there. And what will you be wanting to make at those shops? Well, you will want to make regional items to sell to other players on the market. Or if you're not at that point yet, you can sell regional boards, which will require you to plant trees and gather materials from those. But we'll get to that after I've shown you little boards. So, we're at the market now. You can right click it, click on trade, and then we'll start by transferring 2 boards so that you can see for about how much they sell. This board is 97 quality, so I was pretty lucky to just find a tree out that had that quality, but I'll show you for how much it sells. Alright, as you can see, for 19 copper, so about each board for 10. So if you find a tree close to a trade post, this might be something for you. Otherwise, try it with fish or with torches. Alright, so after that, after you've made your money, you will want to look for a carpenter's. And you will want to click on this here to get the lowest price. So as you can see, unfortunately, at the moment, carpenter's toolkits are pretty expensive. But if you look in here a few more times, I think I got mine for about 2 silver. So I think this is an anomaly currently. There should be cheaper carpenter's toolkits available on the market. Anyway, after you've gotten yourself your carpenter's toolkit, you want to, as I said, make small boards. And in order to do that, you can right click, craft, select little boards, and then basically craft as many as you can. And I'll just show you the difference that it makes. So we just made 1 hardwood board into 10 little boards, which has reduced the weight in half. And I'll also show you the difference in price right now. So as you can see, we've more than quadrupled the price while cutting the weight in half. Alright, so as you can see, that's how you will want to make your money as soon as you have the carpenter's toolkit. Alright, so after you've then gathered some money, what do you do afterwards? Well, as I said, you will probably want to get yourself a claim. And in order to do that, you will want to go into an area where there are not other people already. And you can check that by pressing and holding the F4 button. And if you look on the ground, you can see either blue claims, which is neutral, or orange claims, which is by players, and dark blue is allied players. So you will want to go to a place that you can see where it's not claimed by anybody else. And then what you'll want to do is you'll right click the ground, and then you'll have the ability to select claim. Then you will need a billet, a wooden billet, which you can get by either digging up a stump or chopping it from a tree. And then you can set your claim, put in some money, and after you've put in some money, you can resize the claim by going outside of your claimed area, right-clicking the ground, selecting claim, resize, and then of course you can use these sliders in order to set the size that you want with a maximum of 100 tiles if you are a free-to-play player. Alright. Once you've gotten your claim, what you'll want to do is gather some tree sprouts in order to plant those. Now, an important thing to remember at that point is that by clicking or pressing the button K, you can get up the calendar, and so you can see what kind of trees you can currently gather saplings from and what trees you can currently plant. So these are always these here, and if you can click on here, you can see which other trees you will be able to plant in future. So that's what you will want to do. So you'll want to gather some saplings, and of course you'll want to get the best quality possible, but one of the most important things is gathering quality over 66, since at that point you will get the maximum amount of wood possible from a tree, since depending on the quality the tree will drop different amounts of wood. It also depends on the tree type. Certain trees grow faster, some grow slower, but have more wood. So the fastest growing is the birch tree for hardwood and the spruce tree for softwood. There's also redwood and whitewood, or amberwood and whitewood, but those are things for later. And of course there are other trees as well. The aspen tree for softwood, but that's also for later, since it takes longer to grow but gives you more wood. Anyway, in order to gather sprouts from a tree, you right click and select gather. You can then also look at the quality and decide whether it's good enough or whether you want a better one. The quality of the sprout depends on the quality of the tree, so you can right click and inspect, and your level. So if you look at that, at your skill, the gray number right here is your effective skill, and so that's the maximum quality that you can gather. You will of course also need forest soil to plant. However, an interesting thing to note here is that the quality of the soil does not impact the quality of the tree that you plant on it. So in order to plant a tree, you will need a shovel, and as I said, you will need a place with some forest soil. After that, it's pretty easy. You just right click and then select plant and the kind of tree that you want to plant. If you want to make that the default, then you can simply right click that, as you can see. So now you know how to get started as a carpenter, and as I said, in the late game, what you will want to be doing is selling regional items, and you will probably want to get started by, as I said, selling regional wood. And regional wood is relatively easy to get. All you do is of course you saw out boards like normally, but you have a chance of getting a regional item, and then you can sell those on the market. Of course, people usually want regional wood. If you've got enough money and, as I said, the builder skill, then you can also create a carpenter's workshop so that you can use the workbench then to make things like window modules and door modules, which you can sell for even more money. Anyway, that's been it on the Carpenter. I hope you've enjoyed. If you have any questions, post them in the comments, or if you have any video ideas that you would want me to cover, then also feel free to write those in the comments. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.